Hey guys, David here again. Just want to make a really quick video about what I've been kind of seeing and what's concerning me. Uh, Lately, what I'm seeing rising now, and that's the protesting and the what I believe will soon be possibly rioting and chaos and confusion in the country and around the world. Um, it seems like they're playing us right into this narrative. Um, of exposing the truth, or what they say is the truth. Um, they kind of they played us in the beginning with the COVID-19 when it first started in January. All the truthers were out there, including myself, Christian truthers as well. Uh, we were all saying, "Look at what's going on in China. Look what's happening. All the people dying in the streets, and all this insanity in China." And there's some truth in that, I'm sure, but we definitely got played, I think, and they pushed us in the direction that they wanted us to be in. They didn't. We were pretty much trying to uncover what we thought was the truth, uh, and we kind of did, but they pushed us into the scenario that they wanted us to be in, and whether it's some parts of this might be 5G, some parts of it might be, um, an actual virus, or it might be, who knows? I don't know exactly the whole, everything on it, if it's what's real and what's not. I mean, finding the truth on this kind of thing is impossible. But the narrative, we know that they're pushing us into a direction. And what I'm seeing now is people are starting to see kind of like the truth that what we were told by the government and the media and the politicians aren't really isn't really the truth, and we know that. As Christian truthers, we know that, but it looks like the general public is starting to realize that more now, and they're starting to wake up and see what's going on, and they're starting to have these protests in Michigan and Ohio and all over and whatnot, and you can kind of see the gradual progression of that. I'm just weary. I'm a little bit. I'm concerned because this is the next step in the cards here. Um, I think that they're doing this um, right on schedule. I think that they're having this happen for a reason. Let me zoom in. Does anyone remember the 2017 cover? And I'm just gonna make sure we don't forget, what's playing out here, what their plans are, right? So this tower card, you can see communists and Christians. These are communist nations, I believe, and Christian nations. It looks like they're both kind of protesting to me, right? And I'm not sure the symbology of the tower, but I don't. This could be nation against nation as well. You know, um, some people might say it's America or the West against communist countries like Russia and China, but I see more like protesting because you see the people are down here are waving the flag and whatnot, and it reminds me of Albert Pike's. Um, One of the missions that they had stated was to have um, Christians and atheists uh, be destroyed and have the Luciferian doctrine be the reality. So, and with this protesting and stuff, everyone's looking for a leader to help lead these kind of riots and whatnot. And there might be some type of an antichrist figure coming out of this, and trying to lead the people are protesting either in this country or in the world to the direction that they want it, that he wants it to be in. I don't know if that would be the Antichrist, but we're definitely, it could be, And, you got Trump here, of course, sitting on the flag like it's a toilet seat. He's got his feet on America, North America. And then this is pretty much a given here, the world situation. And then you've got the Hermit card, and it looks similar to the Tower, but you've got all these people coming out forever protesting something, and you see the world is cracked over here. I don't know if that symbolizes a real earthquake or, a crack in, society, the nations. But you can see that this was well planned out. That they want these protests and rioting and chaos to happen. Is staying in our homes the answer? I don't know. I don't think that's the answer. I mean, the answer has to be Jesus Christ, And I'm a firm believer in the rapture, and I believe that's soon to take place. And I mean, I can't personally get involved in these protests, and especially if they become violent. And I know that I would be being played by these certain powers, and maybe even ultimately by the Antichrist, to come against, my brothers and sisters who I actually have no fault with, and even against communist nations. I don't think we should be fighting with them. They want us to be fighting with them. They want everything black versus white, Republican versus Democrat. Every dichotomy you can think of, every kind of situation you can think of, they want us against each other. And I also want to make a warning about. Just a second. I want to go back over to this video. This is Sister Darla from God's Gift. She's doing great, and I think it's awesome that she put this out here, and other channels are as well. And this is the example of what I'm talking about, where they have this open mic where they say that they accidentally got information, during a press or before a press briefing or whatnot, and everyone found out secretly what's going on. Obviously they just made this up. They want us. It creates more chaos and confusion and anger, against each other, and there's people that are saying that the whole thing is absolutely real, and the narrative that the media is telling us is real. They can't wait to get vaccinated, and then there's different levels of truth from that. I still don't know the 100% truth about it, and I don't think we ever completely will. But the point is the narrative of where they want to push us next. And I know, Sister Dolly, you put a big nothing burger, but I don't think so. This is showing us, this video is showing us the narrative. The exact thing I'm talking about is they're trying to move us to the next step. So it's definitely not nothing. This is something. This is showing what what it is. And so thank you for putting that out there. And I also want to move to my next thing is, be careful who you trust. The people that want you to rebel, people that want you to move against the government and whatever, and cause this chaos and protesting and whatnot. People who I have high questions about. In my spirit, I have a lot of questions about certain people. And certain people who even say that they're Christian or show a Christian cross. And because sometimes they're not really Christian. They're wolves in sheep's clothing, pushing a narrative. Sure, they give you truth, and I watch certain people sometimes, but you know, we've got to be careful. Not, and this is a thing I like to point to also as well is I have a friend of mine whose name his name is Walter, and I talked to him the other day, and he's super pro-Trump, and he's a Christian, but he strongly believes that Trump is a good guy and he's for us and whatnot. And there's a lot of Christians who believe that, and that's fine, but he said to me the reason why he believes he's a Christian is because he said Jesus is Lord. Now he's referring back to 1 Corinthians 12 through 15, I believe it is. That if someone confesses Jesus Lord, they're saying it through the Holy Spirit. But you've got to take this in context. That's not just a magic saying to where, oh, if you're a Satanist or if you're a whatever, an atheist or whatever, you can't say Jesus is Lord. You can't. There's nothing prevent you from looking in the mirror if you're an atheist and some kind of magic that happens and says the words won't come out of your mouth, your lips won't pronounce these words, Jesus is Lord. That would be ridiculous, right? And I don't think that's what 1 Corinthians 12 is saying. Anybody, absolutely anybody, can say Jesus is Lord, right? Even the demons confess that, about God. And so we have to take that in context. I think it's more looking at their heart and the fruit of who they are. I mean, even the Pope, right? The Pope, I thought, has said Jesus Lord. At least he used to, or some of the older popes did. Joel Osteen, he said that. Justin Bieber, Kanye West, all these people. But you know, who are they? Who are they really? Just because Trump says Jesus is Lord, and he I listened closer to that prayer that he gave with that gentleman, pastor or whatever, who spoke later. There's some videos on it. I think there's a channel called Wake Up. He did a pretty good breakdown on it. And yeah, it's not good. The pastor even said, quoted, he published something like that. Maybe out of one, and I'm not going to be a part. I'm not going to be one with this new world order. I'm not going to be part of this type of system that they have, and everyone's all these churches nowadays. They're like, we got to have unity. We got to have unity. It's all about you hear about unity. It's like unity with who? What? I will not have unity with this system. And Jesus even said that he brought division. He brought a sword. The word. There will cause division even within your own family. So we don't want division. We want to be aligned correctly with our true brothers and sisters and with the Lord Jesus Christ. And again, I'm not saying that those who believe that Trump is a good guy and they're Christians are not our true Christian brothers. I'm just saying that brothers and sisters. I'm just saying we got to think. We got to think logically about these things and align ourselves with Christ. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say right now. Love you guys. I wish you all the best, and I'm praying for you all. Really, I am, and I hope you're praying for me as well. And I know Christ is coming soon, without a doubt. With that, I'll see you guys.